Darth Dawkins. I believe the question is for Mr. Silverman. Darth, are you there? You will be unmuted now.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Darth, the floor is yours. David, if there is anything that makes you uncomfortable about the line of questioning, please say the word. We will move on immediately. Go ahead, Darth. The floor is yours. Go ahead, Mr.
Yeah, David, since your worldview, you're without reference to God as the ultimate nature of reality. What is the ultimate nature of reality that will allow you a frame of reference to make sense of any facts that you speak?
So when you're dealing with morality and when you're dealing with frames outside of the spirit, so you have to understand that from an atheist perspective, I'm going to do the same thing that you do, okay? You have your perspective, which you also get strictly within the natural realm. You get your perspective from your preachers, your books. You get that from that. And that is a natural thing. It's not actually supernatural based. You think it is, and you give that credit for it, but it's not real. So I get my stuff the same place that I get from you.
But what's not real?
The God isn't real, but the book,
Okay.
but the book is real, right?
How did you determine that?
Are we having a God discussion? Are we having a God debate?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
The reason that I don't believe in God is because the sum total of scientifically valid evidence for anything supernatural ever in the history of the world is zero. And the other side of it is that every single argument for the existence of God, of any God, be it the cosmological argument, the teleological argument, or even the argument for morality, they are all just God of the gaps, and they can be used to defend any deity. So in a sense, the short answer is I don't believe in any gods because they all have exactly the same evidence as each other, and that all that evidence combined is zero. But that's not the real question that you asked. The real question that you asked is, how do I have a moral framework for that? The moral framework comes from the idea that, Sam Harris writes in End of Faith about, he posits an objective morality.
I didn't ask you about morals.
Okay,
I asked you with that. You answered questions that I didn't ask. Okay, I asked you that since you reject and are without God as what would be ultimate reality, I ask you, what is the ultimate nature of reality as a frame of reference that will allow you to make sense of any fact that
the nature of reality?
Yeah, since you deny the existence of God, then you must have something else in mind that
the nature of reality for me is the same as whether or not I believe in any deity, your God or anybody else's God. The answer is quite simple. I don't know. I don't know.
So you have no ultimate foundation to speak facts?
Yes, I do have everything that we have observed to be.
No, I said, do you have an ultimate foundation by which you can ground facts?
I have the exact same foundation that you do. The only difference is that you pretend that yours is supernatural and I don't.
No, I ask you, do you have an ultimate foundation as a frame of reference to place facts?
I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
Do I have an ultimate foundation? We are all perceiving this universe together. Yeah. And we are all perceiving things to a certain level of knowledge and a certain level of comfort. I know.
I don't think you're understanding the question. Okay.
Why are we doing this now?
Dave, come on. Just a second. Dave, are you comfortable continuing this inquiry, or would you prefer to move on?
I'm not here to debate the existence of God. I've done that so many times, and I'm not really interested in doing right now. But I'm happy to talk to it.
Yes, as you wish, Dave. Do you want me to let him continue this inquiry? Whenever you want, we want to make you as comfortable as possible. Do you want me to unmute him?
No, continue, but please. Okay. But please, let's get into what something useful is. Let's talk about something useful here. I mean, if we're talking about the frame of reference, yes, of course, everything is relative. If you don't have an objective knowledge of the universe, and neither you nor I do, then everything is relative and everything we observe is relative. that doesn't mean it's not relative to a certain point that we can call it comfortably certain. We are comfortably certain of reality. We have a framework of reality that we operate in, and you and I operate in the exact same reality, and we operate in the exact same filters. The only difference is that you're just attributing credit that I'm not. And so that's kind of the only real answer to your question. You and I have the same framework, okay? The only difference is that you have this other framework, this super framework that your religion has kind of invented and say, this tells you what we're going on.
You're not addressing. You're not. Why do you keep unmuting me, Canadian?
Dave, it's your call at this point. Do you prefer to continue this, or should we move on to the next question?
We can keep going. We can end this and move.
All right. We will be moving on to the next question,
Real quick, Canadian. I just want to ask